All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. This is Neo Kenshin coming to you with our next video in our series of Retro Recall. Uh, Today, we're going to be jumping into the world of Metal Gear. This was a classic game that I had back in the 80s. I think I got this game. I think I got it the year it came out in 88. Got it for Christmas that year. So this was kind of the first jump into the stealth infiltration of Solid Snake. And back in the day, they didn't have the little nifty internet to be able to look things up. So this was definitely an interesting jump in game difficulty of things that I'd played before. I think it was also the same year that I got my Game Genie, which, if you don't know what that is, back on the NES, that was a nice little nifty thing that hooked onto the end of your Nintendo cartridges. And it basically turned your cartridge into this big old long block that you couldn't even push in all the way to your system. So you had to push it in and you couldn't push the game down like normal. But of course, once you had that thing, it basically turns you into a god with the game because put in whatever code you want and basically just do whatever. And when you're 7, 8, you're 8, 9 years old, and you had one of those, all your friends they're like, "You got Game Genie?" It's like, "Yep." It's like, "Dude, put that in." And they thought you were a literal god at the game because you could pretty much break the game however you want. So, and back with NES games, that pretty much was one of the most fun things to do was how crazy you could break the game because those games are hard enough as is. So, and this game here, I never really beat it straight start to finish until after I got much older and then actually got to see some game guides on how to do it. Mainly because I couldn't figure out where on earth to go most of the time with most of this stuff. I got so lost in everything. So, finally I did manage to get going and managed to pick things up and, keep going through and eventually beat it. I did actually beat the game itself because I found out there were codes and stuff that could get you to the end of the game with like everything, and you could automatically start with the final boss already beat and everything like that. So using those, yeah, I could do it. But just a regular sit down start to finish, not really. It did kind of get me hooked onto the Metal Gear series, and I really did love it. Um, I've got the GameCube version, the Twin Snakes of Metal Gear Solid, which is by far one of my favorite games. I actually had the PSP version or the PlayStation Vita version of the Metal Gear collection, which let me be able to play the MSX versions of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 for the first time. I did get the Metal Gear I think it's the Metal Gear Legendary Collection or something, Volume 1, which gives you all the games, Solid 1, 2, 3, Snake's Revenge, NES version, and the MSX versions. I actually recorded this video before on that version, but somehow audio desync just got completely messed up and it just really went out of sync. So I didn't find that out until I finished the video. So I'm switching over to my emulator and going to try that here and see if that works a little bit better. So basically, I'm just going to go ahead and do a full playthrough. We're just going to take our journey through and see how we do and go from start to finish. Hopefully, some of these tips and tricks will help you out. Maybe kind of inspire you to play some of the other Metal Gear games if you haven't played them. Like I said, this is a remake of the original MSX version that came out in Japan, which we didn't see over here in the States for a long time. So there are a lot of changes and stuff in this version compared to the MSX version. And so maybe this will also kind of help you understand some of those things as well. Go ahead and jump on in. Go ahead and set everything up here. Over. and we'll jump straight into Metal Gear. All right. Now with Metal Gear, there's really only minimal buttons. Occasionally you'll get these messages, which are your transceiver calls, which basically is your contact saying, hey, this is what you need to do. And of course, throughout the game, you'll get additional contacts to try to reach out to who can give you additional tips and tricks. This is, of course, a good old classic Nintendo game. No save states, so you can't save or anything. And you really only have three options: your weapon, which is your weapons that you equipped, equipment that you can carry, that you have to procure to basically make things a little bit better. You do, of course, start with your cigarettes, but you won't be able to do anything with these until the end of the game. So at least you got your smokes, and then, of course, your transceiver. So you are unequipped, so you don't have any weapons whatsoever. The only thing you can really do is just punch them out, CQC. Go ahead and proceed on our mission. Okay, we'll just leave him alone. Now, still don't know how to get past these dogs without waking them up. So we just leave them alone. We just leave you alone. Okay, now I'm gonna pause right here. This screen right here, this truck actually holds the very first item that you can get in the game, which is the binoculars. The binoculars, they do let you see from, one additional screen forward. So you can actually, if you switch the binoculars, you can look one screen ahead to see, what's going to be there, what's like the enemy layout going to be, to kind of give you an idea as to say, okay, so this is what I'm going to be running into. The only problem is with this, they put it in a place where if you go get those binoculars, as soon as you come out, that dude is going to see you because he's going to be walking straight forward to you. So in all honesty, we're just going to skip them because, to be honest, you don't really use them for anything at all. So if you don't get the binoculars, fine. If you do get them, it's okay. They're great for new playthroughs. So, but in my personal recommendation, don't get the binoculars. So we're going to wait for these dudes to turn around, punch him, and get over to get out of line of sight as quick as possible. We'll move as fast and we can get through and get away from it. Now we're going to come up here, move as close as possible. We're going to punch the dog. Now, we do not condone animal violence in this channel, but in this game, it is perfectly okay to punch a dog and kill them because they will be annoying and they will drive you crazy. So we want to wait for these dudes. I would recommend going the left route and wait until they turn away. And then we're going to come down here. Now, you do it right. Wait till they turn, come into this truck right here. We're going to get our first key card to be able to get into doors. Now, as you saw in the previous map, there is another truck there over on the right. The best bet is to gun it and get to that truck as fast as possible. Just as soon as you leave this truck, run. Just keep running and get to that truck because those dudes will wake up. And just get in. And this is going to be our first transport truck. So, okay. Now this dude, he will come out and we want to wait and let him go. If you go into the truck over here on the right, there are rations, which is our life support which is basically our life restore. There is a trick that I will teach you here. If you go into your transceiver on any area that has an item, after you leave the transceiver, it will restore that item for you. So you don't have to leave the room and come back in, because normally you'd have to leave and come back, leave and come back, leave and come back. But you don't have to. Now we got to be careful because this dude may see us. So what we want to do is we want to get over to the other truck that was there on the right. If he sees us, we'll make a break for it. Yep. Okay. So what you can do here, just walk off screen and that resets the screen. Move up a little bit here. come back, and that'll let us get in the truck. And this will actually take us to another area. Now, here's the thing. That previous area that we were in, that where that guard was, that's technically where we wanted to be. Okay, so it looks like there's a call coming in, but we can't get it. So it could be that we may be having block transmissions. If we go get into this truck right here, this will take us back to the area where we found card 1 with the 2 trucks there. This truck down here will give you ammunition for your weapons. We go down here. This is kind of a maze jungle area that we will run into later in the game. So we'll come back here a little bit later. Keep going down, we'll run into the desert. Now, these are trained killer scorpions. Yes, they have trained scorpions. I don't know why, I don't know how, but these are also some big scorpions. Now, the problem with this is, if these scorpions hit you, they will poison you. And once you are poisoned, your life will continually drop until you hit 0. The only way to cure it is you have to use an antidote, which you will find a little bit later in the game. But for now, we do not want to deal with these guys, so we will leave. Not dealing with no scorpions. But those are some big scorpions. So we'll see. Can we pick up that call again? So, we still can't pick up the call. So it looks like that might be something later. So this is the truck we want to go to here. And this is going to actually take us to another area. All right. Now, if we were to go back into this truck, there's another rations depot, so we can go in there and we can refill rations if we need. If we head over to the right, there's kind of another maze area. We will end up coming to this area later, so we want to remember it. Now, there's a reason why I went this way. It's because you technically can get a couple of extra items early. You've got 3 trucks here. This middle truck will take you back to the starting area where we found card 1. In here, we can pick up some plastic explosives, which basically you're not going to use plastic explosives until the end of the game. So, but we want to come down to this truck down here, and this will get us card number 4. Now, with card number 4, what we can do is we can actually go in this door right here. We'll go in here. We'll stay away from you guys. Might get alarmed. Okay, just run through. This dude up here is going to show up. Just stay low and run and double back. Now, these trucks are actually very good. So what we want to do is we want to come into this one right here. This is going to get us our handgun, but we don't have any ammo for it, so we can't do anything. And what we also want to do here, we'll come into this truck here. This one will get us some landmines, which we will need a little bit later. That middle truck you do not want to go into, because if you run into it, there are enemies there. So what we want to do is we actually want to come this way. Gonna stay here. Oh, now what I did here, that is a pitfall trap. If you fall into that trap, you will die. However, there is a trick. If you pop open your transceiver and go into your transceiver, you can stop the trap from fully opening. But here's the thing. What it will do is it will restore the screen as if the trap had never opened. But the problem is that trap is still open, but it does not open all the way. You have to be very careful, and you have to remember how much that trap opened, because if you walk into that area, you will still die. So you can actually, if you remember where it stopped, you can walk around and get around it and not get into the trap. All right. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to come this way. But what I'm going to actually do real quick, I'm going to show you where technically we ended up from. Okay. So let's see, which way are you gonna go? You're gonna go that way. So we came in this door, go out this door. This takes us back to there. So technically this is where you're supposed to go. You're supposed to go in this route, come in, and go up this way. Now this is what we want to go to, is to this door right here. We're gonna go in here, dude, punch him out, CQC, and we're gonna grab our gas mask, which is gonna be one of our more important items early. Okay, I'll be careful. These are rations, so that way you do not die. You do not want to die. We'll go ahead and keep card 1 active for now. Let's kind of stay up here to the top. Just keep walking up here. Well, we'll go down and at least listen to that transceiver message. And this is the message Big Boss will basically just tell you to infiltrate and be careful not to let the guards see you. There we go. Okay. So going up this way, and remember that pitfall trap is there. So what we'll do is just trigger it, activate the transceiver, and stay over here to the right and walk right past it. So what we want to do is we want to go for this elevator right here. We wait a little bit. He will go ahead and talk and leave. We just go run right in behind him. All right, now we're going to come up here to the second floor, or the next floor. Now be careful, those are security cameras. If you are in their sight, they will go off, but if you stay close to the wall right by them, you will stay under their field of vision. Okay, now we can't get into that right door, but we go into the left one here. Now we finally get some ammo for our handgun, but we have to be careful because with the handgun, that thing is loud. So if you fire it off, they will, if there are multiple enemies, they will hear it and they will come running. So gotta be careful with it. Pick up our first POW and out. All right. Ooh, and we come into a room that is full of gas. So what they're going to tell you is you're going to need a gas mask. And you'll get a lot of messages sometimes early where Big Boss will say, I forget to tell you something. And he also says Schneider knows the location of the gas mask, but he doesn't tell you what Schneider's frequency is. So you never learn what Schneider's frequency is until like super late in the game when Schneider calls you. So I think that might have been in the manual or something, but I never found it. Okay. So we got another security camera over here. We can't get in this top door, but we can get in this bottom one. Now, here's the thing. The thing is, when we get in this bottom door, as soon as we come out, that camera will go off. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait, because we need to come back for that top door anyway. So we're going to come over here, come in here. Now, that's a giant roller where if it hits you, it's instant death. So what you want to do is kind of wait till it gets to all the way to there. Get over and book it. Okay, come around here, stay up by the wall. Now just keep walking up. As soon as they go past, just walk right by them. Those daft idiots don't know what passed them. I want to come down here to this door, go in, and we're going to pick up card number 2. Okay, we stay away from the cameras. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch to our newly acquired card 2. Come in here. And there are some more rations. Go ahead and top up. Make sure our health is good. Pick up another ration. Pop them off. Do maybe about 2-3 times, and that's good. So we'll top off our rations there. Head out, stay close to the wall, and head back this way. As soon as they go past, walk right by them. Later, boys. Okay. Now, as soon as you come back in here, that roller's going to be there. It's going to be going towards the wall. So keep walking as fast as you can and get to the door. You will have more than enough time. Okay. So we're going to head back here. Stay up here. Now, as long as we're behind the wall, as long as we're right here behind the crates, the camera can't see us. So we want to wait. Okay. So it's us, apparently. So we'll come up here, get in here, we'll stop the camera. This is going to get us our Nikita missiles, the Nikita remote control missiles, which we will need. And we're going to switch to card 1 because we're going to go down to this door and get another POW. This one will tell us about FoxHounder, who is the person that we have to look for. We go back out, and the alarms go off. So, since they go off, yep, we get detected, but, you know, as long as you get rid of them, you're good. Now, with the Nikita missiles, you don't really need them in a lot of places, but here's the thing. That room is the only room in the game that has the Nikita missiles. So if you want more of them, you have to go to that room right there, because they don't get replenished by collecting ammo boxes, so you can't get more ammo. So you have to go into those to get the Nikita missiles. I'm gonna switch to card 2, and we're gonna go past the roller. All right, stay to the wall here. Gonna let our dudes walk by, and we're gonna right by them again. And we're gonna come up here. Now up here is an electrical floored room, which Big Boss once again says he forgot to tell us something else. And once again tells us Schneider knows the locations of the Nikita missiles, but doesn't tell us how do we talk to Schneider. So we're just gonna switch to our missiles here, and we need to hit that little purple control panel, fire a missile, and there we go. Okay. So what we're gonna go ahead and do here is we're going to switch off of our missiles. We're probably going to run into some guys here. Maybe not. Okay, so we can do this. Okay. Well, that would have worked had I not run into him. So we'll come in here, pick up another POW. And this one tells us that Jennifer will now, or Diane will now support us at 120.33. Diane does help out a little bit. So when you're running into bosses, she can give you some info on how to handle a lot of the bosses. Okay, so we want to go ahead and... Okay. Now, what we want to do here is we actually want to head over here. Okay, so I'll move up here. There we go. What I want to do is I actually want to go into this door first. And I want to come down here. The reason why I'm coming here is because we want to get our suppressor. Now, this is going to automatically equip, and what that's going to do now is our handgun is silent. So now we can start using our handgun to take out some of these guys. Come in here, we're going to pick up a grenade launcher. And we're going to switch back to card 2, come back out here. Now we're going to come back around down, and we're going to go back to that door that was near here, right here, that we couldn't get in before. Because there's another POW in here. And then we are in and out. Now we could go back in the elevator, but there's still another item that we need to get. So, and now that we have our silencer, it is much easier to get rid of these guys. So we'll come pick up our cardboard box here. And what I want to do is as soon as I come out, that dude is probably gonna... Oh no, he's not. There we go. I'm gonna come over here to this elevator. Rid of you. Right, we're staying out of the line of sight. So it turns out that this is not a 2-floor building, it is a 4-floor building. But at this point, right now, we really can't do too much, because if you try to go to the roof and move, you get pushed back. So we need another item where, once again, Big Boss forgot to tell us there are windows installed. So we need to find a bomb blast suit. And that's going to get us through later. So can't do anything here. We could technically search this floor right here, but in order to really capitalize and get everything here, we need card 3. And we don't get that just yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down this way, and we're going to go down this route. Stay over to the right. Come in here, pick up another POW. And this one tells us that we're basically looking for Gray Fox, and we also now get an additional star. So what that extra star is going to do is that's going to allow us to now carry more rations. It's now going to allow us to carry, we can now carry more rations. We can now carry more ammo. We also get a bigger life bar. So I'm going to let this dude come up here. Yep. And we're going to pop you right in the back. Okay. So that takes care of those two. This one, I believe, is card 2 for this door, and this gets us our machine gun. Cap you in the back there. I think this is card 1. And this gets us another POW, who basically tells us, well, if we want to find Gray Fox, just get captured. Okay. So we come down this way, and we're just going to get in the truck here. And this is how we actually get captured in order to get to Gray Fox. It will also take us to the next part of the game. All right, and now we get our transceiver call. Big Boss tells us that we have successfully infiltrated, and now we need to find Gray Fox. So it says to check the hidden cells. So basically what that means is you come up to the cells and you just start punching the cells. Like you start punching the walls. What you'll notice is when you punch them, if you hear a weird sound, what sounds like it's bouncing you off, that tells you it's a secret wall and a door's hidden there. So just kind of move down and you'll find the door. And this one, this is finally Gray Fox, who basically kind of tells you, you know, the kind of purpose of everything in the game, about Metal Gear, you know, how we need to try to find Metal Gear so we can destroy it, get rid of it, and you know, how it's basically a walking piece of walking destructional terror. So yeah. All right. And he basically says we have to find the inventor of Metal Gear, who is Dr. Petrovich. And he says in building 1, and that's the building we were previously in. So now, if we go back here, it takes us back to our cell, and come back here. Gray Fox, he's done yeeted out here. He's gone. So do the same thing here on the bottom wall. Punch, and you'll find an exit door. You know, now we can't really go into this door here, but this door right here is an extremely valuable door that later in the game is going to save you a considerable amount of time. So we want to keep an eye and remember this door here. So we're just going to head on over to the left or the right. And we're going to run into our first boss, the shotgunner. But we can't do anything. So if we come down here into this room, we can pick up our gear. Now we've got all of our weapons, machine guns, handgun, missiles, and we now have our equipment. We also now have an nifty little interesting item that we didn't pick up before, the transmitter. Now, this is kind of what people get if they want to play the game on hard mode. What the transmitter does is, whenever you walk onto a screen that has any kind of enemies, if the transmitter is in your equipment, they will immediately be alerted and immediately go into pursuit mode. Basically, you basically lose all stealth. So no matter what screen it is, if it's got enemies on it, if you have the transmitter, they will instantly be alerted to you. So what you want to do is just highlight it, hit your A button, get rid of it. That basically turns stealth mode back on. So we don't want to deal with that. So what we want to go ahead and do, we'll head back out. What you want to do is just come right over here, switch to your Nikita missiles. This is the easiest way to beat the shotgunner. You can try to run up and get in line with him and just start pelting him with shots, but you might take some damage on the way. If you come up here to the side and start firing the Nikita missiles, it only takes 4, and he is done. But that now means we're out of Nikita missiles, but that's okay, because we can go back to building 1, which we're going to be heading to anyway, and we can pick up more missiles. Now, this is where we get card 3, which this is kind of the important card that we need to finish out building 1. So we'll go ahead and switch back to our handgun. We're gonna come out here. We're gonna shoot the dog. Like I said, we don't condone killing here, but in this case, you know, we gotta get rid of them dogs. Pick up some body armor here, which that, while equipped, is going to reduce your bullet damage by half. So that's, you know, less damage that you take. We'll come up here. This is going to get us our bomb blast suit. So now we can take a look at the roof. So we can head up there and check things out. And we're going to come over here to this door first. We need our card 3. And we're going to pick up an enemy uniform. Now, here's the thing. Just because we got an enemy uniform now, it don't mean that you can wear it and they're not going to know who it is. It's one of those one-time use items that I learned later in the future. So yeah, it's not going to work. But now if you see, we're back in a maze that takes us to a familiar area here. So it takes us back to this truck right here, where we'll just hop right in. And we will top off our rations. And if you notice now, we can now carry more because of our rank. So we can now carry up to 6 rations. I'm going to switch to card 4. And we're going to come back down here. Come in here, we can get a little bit more explosives. Don't want that truck here. We do want to come to this one. And we're just going to walk over this way. And we'll pop into the elevator here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back up to the 3rd floor because I want to go ahead and pick up some more Nikita missiles just in case, because like I said, with Nikita missiles, you can only get them in that one location. Okay, yeah guys, I know, you're coming after me. But catch me if you can. Camera kicks in, that's fine. We'll come down this way. Okay, so that, okay, I'm sitting like, wait a minute, why is that door opening? But then I realized that one opens no matter what. Okay, and we'll top up our ammo as well. And this is going to top us up for our machine gun, our handgun, and our grenade launcher. So right now at level 2, we can carry 100 handgun bullets, 100 machine gun, and 30 grenades. Okay, part 1. And we're going to go into the gas room. All right. I'm going to switch off our gas mask, back to card 1. And we're going to come right back in here. Now, this is probably going to be the most you're going to need of the Nikita missiles because you won't really need them for any more bosses or anything. So 10 missiles is, I mean, you can hold up to 20 missiles once you hit rank 4. But for now, 10 missiles is really all you need. So we really don't need any more here. Okay. And we're going to go back through the gas room. All right. Part 1. Don't need to pick up any ammo, but it never hurts. All right. Get rid of you guys. Come back this way. Pop you, pop you. Now we're going to head back to the elevator. Okay. And now we're going to go on up to the 3rd floor. Okay, so we're going to go back down to the 2nd floor first. So we'll go this way first. All right, and we're going to go this way here. Get to the side walls. Take you guys out. Go kind of out of his line of sight. Now, we're going to go in this door here. If you were to continue over to that screen without going in the door, it takes you to a room. There's 2 doors there. The left one would get you explosives. The right one gets you ammo. You only need card 2. As I said, right now, you don't need explosives. And you should have been topped up on ammo based on that previous room there. So we're just going to keep going here. There is a roller. Want to keep moving. And you'll get through it, no problem. Down here. Take him out. I'll take you out. Stay low. We don't have to really worry about them. Okay. So if we go into this room over here, you losers are sleeping on the job. So y'all get taken out. We're just going to gank you landmines. So come into this door over here. And this one I think gets us another POW. It's card 2. Well, that's the only downside is you kind of have to cycle through cards. Okay, so that gets us another POW. We're going to come and we're going to take this dude out here. Okay, now we want to be very careful with this guy. Don't want to trick him because if he gets triggered, he's going to run for that switch and he's going to turn on the electrical floor. So we're going to come over here, stay low, wait till he turns, and pop him. And I believe it's card 3 that we need. And that gets us our infrared goggles. So we're going to come on out, pop him right in the back. And we're going to go through the card 4s for this door here. This takes us to our second boss, which is the Machine Gun Kid. He says, don't try to go any further. Now, you can stay down here. Basically, you're safe. You can't hit him. He can't hit you. What we need to do is we need to basically get up so we're right in line with him and start pelting him away. Way you can do that is if you use your transceiver, you can reset his position. So we'll use the transceiver, get up right next to him. But let's go ahead and call Diane real quick because Diane should be able to give us a couple of hints on Machine Gun Kid. Let's see what she says. So you could use Nikita missiles on Machine Gun Kid just like you did Shotgunner. That's the super safe version. If you want the fast version, get up right next to him and just start pelting him with a handgun. It's just 10 shots and he's done. Okay, so now he's out of the way. Come in here and we'll pick up an iron glove. Now, this weapon does nothing. The iron glove does absolutely nothing. The thing is, the reason why is because this is another one of the comparison, the comparisons from the MSX version to this version. The MSX version, you needed the iron glove to be able to try to punch walls and get through them to find hidden walls. The thing is, you already have the ability to do that in game. So you don't need to use the iron glove. So it literally does nothing. I thought it even improved like your punching ability and made it that, if you punched enemies, they would take more damage. It does nothing. So yeah, it's just going to sit in your inventory and do nothing. All right. Now, this room here, this is when you finally want to use your infrared goggles. This will basically show you lasers. If you walk across them, that's going to trip them, and you are going to set off the enemy. So, since we don't have to do that, but we're going to come up here. We're going to get us another POW, and with it, we get our 3rd star, which is really good. So now that gives us more life. That lets us carry more ammo, lets us carry more rations. We're going to stay away from the tripwires. We'll take you out. Come up here. Stay close to the wall because those cameras are right there. Okay, so don't know how that happened, but it happened. So that basically takes care of floor 2. So we've pretty much gotten everything there. So we're going to come on up here to the roof. And now, since we have a bomb blast suit, we can use it and walk right past. Okay. We'll come down here. I believe it's on the other side. Nope, there's nothing on this side. So we'll just walk right by, and we no longer need to have the bomb blast suit equipped. And we'll just take care of you guys. So we want to go this way first. Take care of you. Okay. We come in here. There's ammo, which is good because now, since we have rank 3, we can go ahead and top up to more ammo, which I believe will max out at 150 for a handgun and machine gun, and I believe 60 for a grenade launcher. Or no, it's 200, not 150. So it's 200 for a handgun and machine gun. 200 for handgun, machine gun, 60 for the grenade launcher, and then for mines, explosives, and missiles, we could technically carry up to 15. So we'll top up there, come down here just in case. Okay, so there's another door here. I believe it's card 2. And that gets us another POW. We'll get rid of you. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this middle path here. Now, be extremely careful. If you fall off this bridge, it is instant death. So just take your time. Make your adjustments as needed to get across. You got another one right here. Take your time. And there we go. All right. Come over here to the left. And we want to be careful because once again, dude will trip the floor. So it's like no matter what you do, he's going to trip the floor. So if we take our time here, just be careful. Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay. So, it is card 3, so just grab card 3 and run straight in. And it's for the mine detector. So, I mean, it's not really an important item, but, you know, just for completion, you want to have it. You can kind of trigger him and let him turn the floor on and use your remote control missiles. But if you don't have missiles, you basically just have to gun it. So we're gonna come over to the right. Okay, get off me. Okay, we'll come this way. And we're gonna run into our next boss, the Twin Gunners. So what you want to do is use your, make sure you use your rations. Come all the way over here to the right and get right over here. Over here, they can't hit you. So call Diane. Diane will probably give us a little bit of info here. And she basically says use your grenades. Now, if we were playing the MSX version, this would actually be the Harrier jet. And you'd have to throw hand grenades at it. And basically all you have to do, you get over here to the side where they can't hit you. It's 10 grenades each one. And that's it. They are done, and you know how to deal with them. I believe this one is card 2. And this one basically this dude basically tells you that Dr. Petrovich has been moved to a new building, which is located north. So he's now gone. And because technically he would have been in this cell right here, which basically says, is it too late? So pretty much with that now completes taking care of everything in this particular building. So at this point, we just need to get out of here. So once again, want to be careful crossing the bridge. And be careful crossing this one as well. Now, in the MSX version, you actually had to come up on top of the roof, because in order to kind of proceed to like get card 4 and everything, you had to jump off the roof using the parachute and kind of land in another area. But we don't have that there. And we just go here. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back down to the first floor, because we've already cleared all 3, we've cleared all 3 floors. We don't need to grab anything else. We will grab one more item before we leave. So get rid of you. Switch to card 4, because that's what the card we're going to need. Hey, I got bullets for days. So we're going to come in here. We're going to hit this truck right here, pick up some more landmines, because we want to have the maximum amount of landmines. So we got 15 mines, which is good. That's what we need. What's up, buddy? Bye, buddy. Yeah. And we'll head out the door. And that's going to take us back here. So now what we need to do, he says we need to go north. So what we're going to do, we're going to head on north. We're going to stop at our resupply truck here, pick up some more rations. We can top off on health here. Go ahead and pop the transceiver trick. And we'll top up at non-rations. All right. So what we want to do, I'm going to go ahead and put on the body armor, because we are going to need that just in case. And we're going to switch to our landmine, because what we're about to do is we're about to run into another boss. We go north. There's a tank blocking us. Okay, Diane, what can you tell us? And he says you have to use landmines. Now, the thing is, in order to defeat the tank, you have to use landmines. But here's the thing, it requires 11 landmines to destroy it. So you have to be rank 3 in order to destroy this tank. You can use the transceiver trick to reset its position. So basically what you want to do, drop some landmines, let him go back, drop 3, let him go back, keep the body armor on because that does help with reducing shot damage. Drop 3 landmines. And then 2 more landmines, and he's done. So we don't need the body armor. Though you do want to go ahead and use your mine detector because you are about to run through an area with a lot of landmines. So this is really the only useful spot the mine detector will play a good part in. Then you get a call from Big Boss, who basically tells you, you have to make sure you have the enemy uniform. So you want to make sure you got the uniform. And he also gives you a new communication frequency to call him at, 12013. Here is basically where you equip the uniform. All you do is just put it on. I'll switch our weapon back over. You put it on and pretty much just walk right straight in and they ignore you. And this puts us into building 2. Now, come over this way. I believe this door will get us some ammunition. Which, if you do need extra ammo, you can top up on extra ammo in here. Which doesn't hurt. And then we're going to come out here. And what you want to do is you actually want to go ahead and switch over to your grenade launcher because we are going to need the grenade launcher. Okay, so we're going to come in here and come through this door. When we go in this door, we're going to run into another boss. We're going to run into the bulldozer. How they got a bulldozer in that super small space beats me. I mean, it's like, come on, how you gonna get a bulldozer in something that small? So we'll call up Diane and see what she says. She doesn't say none. Okay. So, but basically the way you defeat the bulldozer is you are going to need the grenade launcher. So what you do is as soon as you start, come in here, start firing. If by chance you miss some shots and he gets a little far ahead, just leave, come back in, it'll restart his position. But if you fire fast enough, you've got more than enough time to hit him. You only need to hit him with 8 grenades, and that takes him out. So we want to go ahead and switch back to our handgun and come out. And we're back in another infrared room. Now this room is different. This time we've got moving lasers. So you got to be careful and watch the timing. And move when they are gone. So we can come down here. I'm going to switch to card 2. And I'm going to come over here to this door. Now, you'll get a call here. If you try to answer the call, you don't get anything. But once you pick up the antenna, now you can start picking up transmissions. You don't have to have the antenna equipped. As long as it's in your inventory, it works. So now we're going to go back out and we're going to go back to the elevator. We'll come down here. If we went down, see, most of these doors, we can't really get into any of these doors right now. So for now, we just go past it. What you're standing in is water. The enemies, they can't come into the water. The black water is deep water where if you go into it, you will start drowning until we get another item. Just go ahead and make a break for it. If you trip with the alarm, just go in the elevator. Now, this elevator, this is a unique elevator. This is a one-way elevator. If you go up, cannot go back down. So, like I said, it is a one-way. There's another elevator that's a down-way. What we want to do first is we want to go to the roof first. We don't want to hit the middle floor. We want to go to the roof first. We'll take you guys out. Come in and we'll pick up another POW. And this one, he basically tells you Dr. Petrovich is on the second floor. We'll take out these three guys. For the most part, you can just ignore a lot of these guys and just make your way down. Come down here. And I believe this is card 4. Yep. And this is going to get us card 5, which is one of the 2 important cards for this building. And here's our down elevator. So we no longer need to come back to the roof. So what we want to do first is we want to go down to the basement floor. Or back down to the first floor. Because there are a couple of doors down here that we can use card 5 to get in and get some important stuff. Okay, stay to the right here. Don't walk straight down there to the middle because there is a trap hole floor. And we come out over here on this side. So now we got a little bit more exploration we can do. We'll switch to our card 5. Come over here, and I believe over here is a rations. Yep, here is a rations room. So if you need any extra rations, you can come up here and refill. And what we're going to do is we're going to head over. We'll just walk over. We're going to come over this way. Because there is a door up here. Up in here. This gets us another POW. And this one talks about connecting to building 3. This one gives us the hint about defeating the boss called Arnold. We need to get card 7. So we are going to need card 7. Yeah, you guys are doing whatever. You can come over here. And like I said, if you go in that dark water, you start to drown, so you want to be careful. You want to come down this way. Get rid of you. Come over here. And in here, and this is where we get card 6. So these are the 2 important cards that we're actually going to need for the next floor. So before you tackle the second floor, you want to make sure you have cards 5 and 6 because those are going to be the cards that you're going to need the most. So we'll just come on over this way. We're just going to head over here. And now we're going to head up to the second floor. All right. So now we got a little bit of exploration to do. Go this way. Go this way first. And I believe this is card 1. Or no, this way. Try card 6. I forget. These are mostly card 5 and 6. And here we pick up antidote for scorpion poison. So now we have our antidote. So if we run into those scorpions, we got a way to cure them. Okay. So we want to go this way. Now, had we gone down in that door, this is actually going the same route if we go this way here. Now, this room, this is Arnold. They call him Arnold. The Arnoids or whatever. You cannot destroy them because the dude down below says you need a rocket launcher. Diane is basically not helping us. So, what we want to do is we want to first come down here to this lower right door, which I believe we need card 5. You may get hit by Arnold, it's okay. Take you guys out. I want to come over here to this guy. Now, if we have been collecting all the POWs so far, this one, I believe, is the one that will promote you to 4th rank. Yep. Which means now we are at maximum rank. We can now carry maximum items, maximum health. Over here, this door takes us to the down elevator, which we won't bother just yet. So what we want to do is we want to come back up here and we want to come over this way. Now, had you come over this way instead of gone down, if you go up here and talk to this guy, he would give you the 4th rank. Now, this one tells us to contact Resistance Fighter Jennifer, 12048. Jennifer is probably the biggest help for us in the game. So they say she's a snob, and she won't answer you unless you are classy. This is a big, big, big confusion for a lot of people who play this game because they don't know what it means to be classy. This is another problem with translation from the MSX version. In the MSX version, you didn't have rank, you had class. Your class was 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star. So what they mean by you have to be classy is you have to have maximum stars. You have to be 4 star. And a lot of people are like, wait a minute, what does you mean by classy? Well, it literally means you have to be rank 4, because in the MSX version, you had, like I said, and if you look up screenshots of the MSX version, it instead of saying life and rank, it says life and class. So that's what it is. So right here, we want to go ahead and call Jennifer. And she'll respond to us, and she'll set up the rocket launchers for us. So this is actually where we get a rocket launcher. We'll go in here, and now we've got our rocket launcher. But we don't have any ammo for it. So we gotta go find some ammo. So, but while we're doing that, since we're pretty much in finding items mode, we can go pick up another item as well, because we were told that we need to have a compass. So what you want to do is come over here, push your card 2. You got more than enough rations, so you can take a hit from Arnold. Walk through here. You're gonna come over here. Now this is another door. Okay, y'all are getting froggy. So this is another door here that really you can't get anything, but if you call Jennifer, our girl comes through in the pinch. But she has a compass. What's a C-O-M-P-A-S? A compass. You know, like what? So we use card 1, we'll come in, and this is where we pick up our compass. And we'll go ahead and clear these guys out. Switch back to card 2, because we're going to go back in the Arnold room. Take a hit, it's no problem. And now we want to switch to card 1 and come down here to the lower left door. Because what we got to do is we got to get some ammo. So what we want to do first is actually you want to go ahead and switch to card 6, come up here into this door. Well, we'll keep running here. Okay, so this is door right here. Technically, Dr. Petrovich, this is Dr. Petrovich, but here's the problem. It's a trap. So yeah, it's basically designed to fake you out. If you talk to the guy, he will basically say, you know, oh, it's a trap. Dr. Petrovich is not here. We got you. And if you don't move fast enough, you will fall into that hole and you will die. So yeah, we don't want that. That's a bad thing. So basically just grab, you know, just talk to him a bit and back up and get away from him. Other than that, just leave him alone. He does nothing. If, you know, you are the type that gets mad because somebody, you know, they tricked you like that, don't shoot him. Well, you can shoot him now, but you would lose a rank star, and that's less items because they still consider him a hostage. So, yeah, you don't want to do that. But we've got a nice little ammo repository here. So now that we're rank 4, we can go ahead and top up to maximum ammo, which would be 250 for your handgun and machine gun, 90 for your grenade launcher, and 30 for your rocket launcher. So we have got more than enough ammo now. So now let's go blast those bots. Really? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and switch back to card 1. Switch to your rocket launcher. All right. Now, it takes 4 rockets for each one. Don't worry about taking some hits because you've got rations. Use them as you need them. So it's 4 shots each time. Only the bottom one really will hurt you. But there you go. And that gets us card 7. And with that, that actually now has completed building 2 for us. So we pretty much are done with this building. So now what we can do, switch off. We don't want people getting alarmed because we're blasting rocket launcher all over the place. So what we want to do is we'll leave you alone. Come through here. There's a roller. Just run. You should make it. We're going to come down here to the bottom floor. Well, okay, we're technically done with building this building for now. There is still another item. There's still one more item in this building. We can't really get it just yet because we don't have a specific item that we need to get through to get to the end. However, I'm going to attempt something here. This is a very tricky skip, which let's see here. Let me see how many rations I've got. Okay. So I've got 12 rations. So what I'm going to attempt is what's called the oxygen tank skip. Now, this is a very, very difficult trick because if it fails, I'm going to die and die fast. Actually, I need to come around the other end. But if I do this, this is going to save a considerable amount of time. getting through, and it lets us basically skip a trip. So here we go. Let me switch to my rations. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. Okay, made it. So technically what you're supposed to do is you're technically supposed to have an item called the oxygen tank. Now, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go to you're supposed to leave this building. You go north into the final building, which takes you to the end of the game, and you go down to the basement. And when you go down the basement, what's down there is the oxygen tank. So you go down there, you get your oxygen tank. Oh, now we finally get a call from Schneider. And he tells us who the enemy leader is, but then apparently gets offed. So, yeah, that didn't really work. Okay. So technically what I'm talking about is the skip that we just did is called the oxygen tank skip. Going through that deep water, basically what you do is you basically just trudge through and you use your rations just before you die. That'll restore you to full health, and you just keep going and going. You can really only do it when you're rank 4 because that gives you enough health to get through it. You want to make sure you have maximum rations, because otherwise you will run out. And so pretty much what happens is if you run out, you die. If you make it, then you don't have to take the trip to get the oxygen tank, double back and come back into this way. Because this actually will take us to a boss that actually gets us card 8. Which this boss is Coward Duck. He basically says you want to try to shoot him, go ahead, because he says he's got 3 hostages there. You want to be careful. Jennifer will actually tell you here. She says that Coward Duck has card 8, and she says that her brother is there, and because if you kill him, she basically won't help you anymore. And her brother is the one in the middle. Now there's also another trap. There's a pit trap here. But Coward Duck is really easy. Basically what you want to do, don't want to risk killing anybody. Just switch to your handgun, come over here to the side, stay to the side. You can talk to the one and get right up on him and just shoot him with the machine gun or shoot him with the gun. He can't hit you with the boomerangs or whatever. And that's it. Now Jennifer's brother, this is Jennifer's brother. He basically gives you the hint on what you need to do when you get ready to leap at the end of the game. So now that we've got card 8, we're actually pretty far ahead, and we've actually done a lot. So what we want to do here. Okay. So now what we're getting ready to do is we're getting ready to do the return trip. Now, you can do the return trip because it can get you there faster. But here's the thing. There is actually a nifty little trick that if we do this right, it's going to save us even more time. So what we're going to go ahead and do, come in here, and we're going to die. Yeah, we're going to die. Saves us on using up rations, which is okay. So we're going to continue. But here's the thing. This is why we wanted to die, is because it puts us right outside of building 1 in the back. And this is actually where we want to be. What we're going to do here first, come in here, we're going to grab some explosives, and that's going to put our plastic explosives to 20, which is what we're going to need for the end of the game. Switch back to our handgun. Got 8 rations. Okay. So for completion's sake, pretty much, this is the binoculars here, and there's one more item we would have had to find. So we're in good shape. Now, technically, at this point in the game, our big goal is we have to find Dr. Petrovich. So we still haven't found him yet. Well, if you remember, well, look at what I mean. We've got our truck here. We'll come in here and we'll top up. So if you remember, there were some maze areas that we went to, which we needed to go through in order to get some other buildings. Now, these maze areas are tricky because the only way, from what I remember, the only way that you could really get through the maze zones was you had to have the map that they included with the game. They included a little mini map of like the main areas, not of the buildings or anything, but of kind of like the jungle area and stuff. And I believe it had the directions to get through the maze zone. So this is the way you want to go. There's 2 different maze areas that we could have gone through. There's one to the right above where the scorpions are, and then there's one right here. This is actually the one we want to go to first because we're not going to save Dr. Petrovich first. Reason why is if we were to go find Dr. Petrovich first, he tells you that he's not going to help you unless you find his daughter, Ellen. And what happens is you're going to have to go through another area to find her. But she's actually a lot easier to find than you think. So what you want to do is you want to come into this maze area here. And the route you want to go is you want to go to the left first. So 1 left. You want to take a 2nd left. You want to take the upper right exit, this one right here. And then you want to take 1 more left. And when you get that sound, that tells you are in the correct path. Now, if you remember, we were here previously. This is where we were captured. And this is the building that we were in where we fought the shotgunner, got the uniform, the bomb blast suit, and card 3. So what we're going to do, you got lucky. You didn't have to die. We're going to come back here, back to the cell where Gray Fox was. Remember when I said this door right here was really important? Now we can access it because we got all the cards. So with card 6, come in here. And we come in here. Be careful because there is a trap floor right there. Careful with that. What you want to do is you want to stay on the wall and you want to punch the wall. In here is Ellen. This just saves you a massive, and I do mean massive amount of time. So now that we've saved Ellen, we don't have to do a backtrack to find her. But I'll kind of show you where we'd normally be. So here, a whole bunch of dogs. Sorry, y'all gotta die. So technically, what we would have to do, I believe we come this way. We come in through here. These rooms are completely dark. So this is where the last item comes into place, which is the flashlight. That's what we would have to find, and we would have to trudge our way through and make our way through. But because we've already done this, and I'll show you kind of where once we find it, because now we can go straight to Dr. Petrovich. and I'll kind of explain more on that. So technically the whole purpose of that, that's kind of like the back way you're supposed, like the end of the route that you're supposed to go. Because basically what you do is you go find Dr. Petrovich. He tells you, hey, I can't help you because you have to find my daughter. By then you've collected the flashlight, you've got all your items, you have to go through this long rooms that all have a bunch of trap pitfalls, all to end up there. And then you basically go back the way you came, dealing with the pitfalls and running into Dr. Petrovich again. So it's a lot of walking that you honestly don't need to do. But this right here, this saves you a considerable amount of time. So what we can do now is, now that we've gotten that taken care of, I'll now actually show you kind of the way that you were supposed to go originally. So we'll come through here. We'll put on card 4 to get through the door up here. Why did you go to the bomb blast suit? I said card 4. Not worried about the alarms or anything. So now we're going to go up to that door right there, which actually is the correct door you're supposed to go through. So what you're technically supposed to do is, after you get card 7, you come through here, and card 7 is what will let you out right here. This takes you into the desert area. In order to get through, you have to equip the compass so you can get through and not get lost, because otherwise the screen will repeat and you'll never get out. We go north, we got scorpions, which is what we needed the antidote for, because we didn't want to run into these guys. Just pop in your machine gun, and that takes care of them. Now, if you keep going north, this takes you, remember this area? This is the second area that we came to, you know, on our way to card 4. Now that we have the antenna, Big Boss says get in the truck over on the right. Basically, Big Boss is telling you to get into this truck over here. He's the truck over on the right. I think he's like either this one right here, one of those, and it takes you back, and basically it starts looping you around and you start going in the wrong way. So you don't really want to listen to Big Boss. Main reason why is because things are starting to get a little fishy. So what you're technically supposed to do now is, now that you've gotten through here, you use card 7 to go into this door. This will take you in to the final building where we can go get the oxygen tank, and then come back. We go back through the desert, deal with scorpions again. We go across the lock, we get card 8. So that's basically, you know, technically the way you're supposed to go. But because we did the skip using, I can't talk, using rations, we don't have to do all that. So all that's done. But what we want to do is we want to come over here. We want to come to this area right here, because this is the second maze area that we need to access. In order to get through here, we're going to go over here to the left. This is going to take us into the second maze zone. So in order to get through this maze, what we want to do is we want to take the lower left path first. Then we want to take the upper left path. We then want to go up. And then you want to take the lower left path one more time. And this gets us to the final building, There is nothing over this way, so don't bother going. It'll just loop back around. This is going to take us in here. And this is the building where we find Dr. Petrovich. This also is where we really get our first call from Schneider. But the thing is, we've already did everything, so we don't need Schneider for nothing. So, yeah. But he basically just tells us that there's a lot of gas-filled rooms. So, you know. So, what we want to go ahead and do, stop in here. There's a POW, so if by chance you have shot a POW and you lose a star and you want to try to get some more stars, that's one there. So what we want to do is we're going to go this way. So we're going to equip card 3. Now these rooms are all filled with gas, so you are going to need your gas mask. So come in here. If you need plastic explosives, you can stock up in here, but we already have the maximum, which is what we need. So we don't need plastic explosives, so we're good. But in the MSX version, you did need them because that's actually what would be used to blow up walls to find hidden pathways. Now, I'm going to come in here. This is where we pick up our last item, the flashlight. Now, normally, it wouldn't really tell you because technically what you were supposed to do in the MSX version is you're supposed to check the walls. And this is another one of those walls, because in the MSX version, you'd use plastic explosives to blast through walls, but they fixed it. You just punch a door. Come in this way. This takes us to our final regular boss, the Fire Trooper. This dude is pathetic. Okay. He basically stands there, he doesn't move, and he fires a flamethrower in a wide arc. Okay? You cannot get hit by this thing. Unless you intentionally do it. So just let him fire and walk right up beside him. And then just shoot him. And that's it. That's it. He does nothing. You literally can just do that and be done with him. So which is card 6, come in here. This is finally where we reach Dr. Petrovich. So, had you not rescued Ellen first, what he would say is he cannot help you because you need to go rescue Ellen. And then you would have to go find Ellen, backtrack, and come talk to him. Basically, what he tells you to do is, in the MSX version, he tells you how to destroy Metal Gear. And until you talk to him, you cannot destroy Metal Gear in any form or fashion. Here, he basically tells you how to destroy the supercomputer, which controls Metal Gear. So, until you talk to him and he tells you that, no matter what you do, you cannot destroy the supercomputer, which controls Metal Gear. So, you basically go find Ellen, come back, and he'll tell you drop 16 plastic explosives on it. But, like I said, we've done all that, so we didn't have to worry about doing backtracking or anything. But if you don't do the backtrack route, this is actually where I'll show you where to go. Come over here. Keep your gas mask on. I'm going to punch the wall here, and then this is going to kind of take you around. See, in the MSX version, all of this was really connected into one solid building, so you didn't have to do a lot of backtracking. There's another POW if you need it. Okay, so you come around and down here, there will be some rations if you do need your rations pretty soon. There's going to be some rations in here. And this is card 5. So if you need to top up on your rations, there you go. And you've got your max 12 rations. Go ahead and stick back to your gas mask. So we're gonna come down here. Now, this is another one of those that's got hidden walls where the MSX version, you'd punch a wall here. The wall's right here. And you'd be careful because there's a block up there, which is a pitfall trap. But this is the route that you technically would go to find Ellen. You would come this way, and this is going to take you to the long path of the dark rooms. Which, card 6. So it takes you to these dark rooms here. You get a call. Okay, so apparently Diane has switched to a new frequency, but she doesn't tell you that. She says there's pit traps in here. This is where you would equip your flashlight, and it lights up the room for you. And basically, you make your full you make your full trip back. This will take you down back to where we found Ellen. And once you find Ellen, you then double back, going through all those traps again. Which is why I said taking the first route is easier, because you go ahead and get Ellen and you don't have to deal with all of those pit traps at all. And because you've already rescued Ellen, you don't have to deal with, you immediately get Dr. Petrovich's help. So that cuts your time down considerably. So now, at this point, we've basically done everything. We are officially in the end game. So at this point, now we just get the heck out of here. And we head now to the final building, and we head to the end of the game. Okay. So we'll come out here. We are going to need card 7. And at this point, So at this point, with the end of the game, you've pretty much got all the items. What you want to make sure of in terms of your weapon ammunition, what you want to make sure to have: max out on rockets and max out on explosives. Those are the 2 main things that you're gonna need in the end of the game. So you want to make sure that you've loaded up there. So you just come on straight in here. Okay. Now we get a transceiver call. Big Boss calls. He says go through the door on the left. Don't listen to him, because if you go through that door on the left, it's going to take you to a trap room, which there's a trap right there as soon as you get in, and you die. So you want to come up this way. There are going to be some traps here, so be careful. Stay over to the left. As soon as you see them pop up, open your transceiver. Stay over here, stay close, kind of stay where my line is here. Like, align yourself up here, go right here, and kind of line yourself up with the elevator. As soon as you start going, you'll see that trap hole open. Open your transceiver. You want to get it as small as possible, because then you can walk straight up into this elevator. This is the final elevator and the biggest elevator in the game. So this is the longest elevator. Supposedly this is supposed to be an elevator that is 100 floors down, and apparently we're going down to like the bottom floor of 100 floors, which, yeah. Okay. So now, this is the final area. We'll come down here to this door. This has the oxygen tank that we needed, so with getting card 8, technically you were supposed to come here, get the oxygen tank, go back, take that long route, go through the oxygen, get card 8, and then proceed. But once again, we did skip. Now, those are not cameras. They decided to amp up. Those are lasers. So if you walk in front of them, they will fire lasers. This guy here, he is our final POW of the game. He basically tells us that the final boss is Big Boss. So pretty much, Big Boss has been behind this whole thing the whole time. So that's what we're dealing with. So we come here, we get a call. It's Big Boss. He tells us that, hey, everything's canceled, go home. This is done. I believe on the MSX version, he actually tells you to turn your MSX game off. So, yeah. We'll come in here. We've got a gas mask room. We're going to gas up. Do not go in this upper door here. I believe it takes card 8, but do not go in there. The reason why is because that takes you into a trap. In the MSX version, this would have been a wall that you had to punch through or use explosives to get through, because it would have been hidden. So I believe it's card 5. So it's in the gas room. And they decided to amp things up because not only is it the gas room, but there's mines down there in the middle. So we just come up here and we're going to use the card that started it all, card 1. Now this here is kind of the final room here. If you pop on your transceiver, Jennifer will basically give you advice here. She basically tells you run for it. There is no trap or anything like that. So pretty much you have to run for it. This is why you want to make sure you got full rations, because there's no trap or anything. So basically just hit it, ration up, keep going, ration up. I'll probably need to use 2, which is good. And now we're in the room with the supercomputer. Had we been playing the MSX version, this is the room with Metal Gear. We would have been facing Metal Gear, but unfortunately for us here in the Americas, we got this. Now, there is a hidden glitch that you can actually skip this boss completely. And what it does is it takes you directly to Big Boss, but it takes you to a different version of Big Boss, which I'm going to show you here how it works. I'm going to go out, go in, and immediately hold right on your control pad. What that's going to do is that's going to skip you directly into Big Boss's room. But here's the thing. The boss theme is the traditional boss theme. It's not the final boss theme. Because you have skipped it, you have not triggered the self-destruct sequence that puts you under the timer to face Big Boss. So now you can fight Big Boss with all the time that you have. So technically, so Diane says no way to destroy Big Boss is... Okay, so Diane says that, and then she goes into some dramatic shtick, talking about how romance or whatever. Jennifer will tell you, use a cigarette, it adds more time to the timer. And I'll show you what the timer is. So, and this is come by your wife's. So, we got 2 options here. We could go ahead and finish off Big Boss, with, this right now we're basically in unlimited timer mode. You get all the time you want to finish off Big Boss. It takes 10 missiles to kill him, or 10 shots from the rocket launcher to kill him. But like I said, you don't have a timer. You literally can fight him nonstop, and he basically gets in a lock position where you can just lock in and keep them. If you go back to the other room, it takes you back to the supercomputer, and you'd have to technically repeat the glitch again, or you can destroy the computer. So what I'm gonna show you, we'll go ahead and do Big Boss. So just kind of walk up, just kind of get right here, because he, like I said, he's gonna keep going in that same pattern and just fire rockets. You've got more than enough rations. You can just tank everything. Just tank him. And Big Boss is done. And it goes back into the theme just like normal. You know? So I'm gonna switch back to my machine gun and go back in to the supercomputer room. So technically now I can't get back in, but I've already beaten Big Boss, you know? So what we'll go ahead and do is now we'll trigger the self-destruct sequence. And basically it's just that 16 plastic explosives. You just stand here and you plant plastic explosives, which kind of stinks because in the original MSX version, you actually had Metal Gear and you had to go in a pattern of using explosives on its right or left legs, and you had to follow the correct pattern in order to destroy it. But all this is just standing here and you just drop explosives. Number 16, that destroys the computer. Now it goes into final boss mode, where the detonation timer begins. The door opens, you'd go in. Technically, Big Boss would be in here. He'd give you his spiel, you know, talking about how everything's going, and you'd have to beat him under the timer. This is also where you can finally use the cigarettes, like Jennifer said. You use the cigarettes, it adds an additional 1,000 seconds to your timer. But, like I said, after that, and then after you defeat Big Boss, you've got 3 doors up here. It basically tells you, you know, from Jennifer's brother, use the door on the left. Come in the door here. And in the MSX version, it was 3 ladders that you would climb up, and like you would see which ones are the smaller ones, which are the wrong ones. But the left one, you come in, and with that, we have completed Metal Gear. So yeah, there's a couple, you know, a couple interesting things that you know, interesting quirks and things that happen from you know, their translation from the MSX version. So, but it is a pretty good translation from the MSX. Not gonna lie, I have played the MSX version and have actually beaten the MSX version. I do really like the MSX version too, but the NES version has always been really a good, fun version for me. And you know, it's the one I started on. You know, it's the one I'm faithful to. But with that, you have now completed Metal Gear. And, you know, a couple little bit of tips and tricks to actually speed you through so you can get through faster. And kind of save you a little bit of grief and headache. So, but yeah, like I said, this leads into so many more new games. You know, they did actually come out with a supposed sequel on the NES called Snake's Revenge. That has absolutely nothing to do with Metal Gear, the Metal Gear Solid game series or whatever. And then once you're done, it takes you back here to the beginning, and that's it. But yeah, Snake's Revenge is a completely different game. It's like its own complete little in-universe game, so it has nothing to do with the Metal Gear canon. Metal Gear 2 is actually the true sequel, which is the MSX version. And then, of course, it will lead into the Metal Gear Solid series, which will basically continues the story from there. Metal Gear Solid, Solid 2, Solid 3, Solid 4, and Solid 5. And then, you know, as you play each of the games, you'll actually kind of learn how things all tie together. Like, if you played Metal Gear Solid 5, you'll actually come to learn that Big Boss is actually the Snake from Metal Gear Solid 5. Metal Gear's got a really deep lore, a really good lore to it. I believe its actual chronological order is Metal Gear Solid 3. So I believe it's Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid 5. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. It's Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid, I think, Peace Walker. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which was on the PSP, Metal Gear Solid 5, then Metal Gear 2, then Metal Gear Solid 2, and then Metal Gear Solid 4 is I believe, the true chronological order of the game. So if you're wanting to play them in actual story lore order, that's the order you would go. But that's going to be it for me today. I definitely want to say thanks so much for coming and hanging out with us on this journey through another classic NES game. I hope that some of my tips and strategies will kind of help you out and kind of save you a little bit of frustration in the future if you do play it. Maybe also it'll kind of lead you to test out some of the other Metal Gear games. You can pretty much play, I believe, all of the Metal Gear. You can actually play all of the Metal Gear Solid games out now on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Steam, I believe, except for Metal Gear Solid 4. You can get I believe it's the Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 1. It contains, it has the NES Metal Gear, Snake's Revenge. It does have the MSX versions of Metal Gear 1 and 2. It has the classic PlayStation version of Metal Gear Solid 1. It has Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3. Metal Gear Solid 5 is on PlayStation 5, and I believe PlayStation 5 and Steam. And I believe Metal Gear Solid 4 is a part of the PlayStation Plus collection, but I think you have to be a PlayStation Plus Platinum subscriber to play it. Otherwise, you'd have to play it on PlayStation 3. But it was also one of the really good Metal Gears. But there are a lot of good Metal Gears out there. And even if you can find it, Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes, which is the remake of Metal Gear Solid 1, is on the GameCube. So if you get a chance to find that, it's a rare find, but it's hard to find, but it's a good playthrough. But like I said, thanks so much for joining me on this journey here. Hope you will come back next time for another episode of Retro Recall in the future. But until then, take care of yourselves and stay safe. Be excellent to each other. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.